Today we'll be visiting war-struck Mandalore. Mandalorian culture and tradition groups its people into a pyramid hierarchy of larger factions called houses that are each supported by different sets of lower caste clans. At the top is the ruler of Mandalore and her or his protectors. We've already found out that Sabine of Star Wars Rebels is of Clan Ren under House Vizsla. And while there's still more information to come on her and the state of Mandalore during the reign of the Galactic Empire, let's take a look at what happened on Mandalore during the Clone Wars. Turned to desert over years of warmongering among its people, Mandalore could only support life within domed cities that protected Mandalorians from the harsh planetary environment. Ancient Mandalorians are known for being battle-hungry and fighting in many conflicts across the galaxy. Mandalorian commandos once raided the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, seizing an ancient saber whose light glowed black, known as the Darksaber. A millennium later, this saber would come into the possession of the governor of Concordia Province, Pre Vizsla, secret leader of the militarized group known as Death Watch. But why would a militarized group of battle-hungry Mandalorians wish to remain secret? Well, during the Clone Wars, Mandalore was run under a pacifist ideology. This group of new Mandalorians rejected their violent history and wished for a new age of peace under the rule of Prime Minister Almec and Duchess Satine Kryze, the latter an old friend and suspected lover of Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was under these conditions that Death Watch remained in hiding on the province moon of Concordia. Although officially a neutral planet during the Clone Wars, Pre Vizsla secretly cooperated with Count Dooku and the Confederacy of Independent Systems, wishing to return Mandalore to the bloodthirsty ways of its ancestors. Death Watch bombed the Peace Park in Mandalore's capital of Sundari, which prompted Obi-Wan Kenobi and Duchess Satine, who were present at the incident, to investigate. Since the bomber had been from the province of Concordia, Kenobi and the Duchess headed to the moon and discovered that Death Watch was still active and that their leader was Pre Vizsla. Death Watch tried to take Mandalore in the later years of the Clone Wars. Darth Maul, his apprentice Savage Opress, and his shadow collective of crime syndicates, Black Sun and the Pike Syndicate, joined forces with Death Watch to do so. Death Watch successfully took control of the populace after the Duchess's peacekeeping forces were overcome by the attack. Pre Vizsla made a promise to the concerned populace that he would take control of the situation. He did this, of course, simply by calling his commandos to stand down, and the Duchess was secretly taken into custody. At this point, Pre Vizsla became Prime Minister, but after he and Maul fell into disagreement, he placed the Sith Lord and Savage Opress in prison, where they soon made an ally of former Prime Minister Almec, who had earlier been placed in prison because of ties to the black market. The three men then escaped prison, and Maul challenged Pre Vizsla to mortal combat, the survivor being made the new ruler of the planet. Maul defeated Pre Vizsla and executed him in front of his men, then reinstalled Almec as a puppet leader. The populace was then told that the murder of Pre Vizsla was at the hands of Duchess Satine. Although Maul was the de facto ruler of Mandalore and commanded Death Watch as well, the late Pre Vizsla's lieutenant and Satine's sister Bo-Katan organized a rescue of Satine with the help of her Death Watch faction, the Night Owls, hoping that Satine would be able to send a request for help to the Republic. Satine was recaptured, but managed to send the message. However, because of Mandalore's neutrality, the Republic could not respond with military force. Instead, Obi-Wan went by himself to rescue the Duchess, but was unable to escape Maul's forces. As revenge for his defeat at the hands of Kenobi on Naboo years earlier, Darth Maul there murdered Duchess Satine Kryze and sentenced Kenobi to eternal imprisonment. Bo-Katan rescued Obi-Wan from imprisonment and managed to ensure his escape from the planet in the hopes that he would return with Republic forces. In fact, the Night Owls had begun openly fighting with Maul's Death Watch faction in the streets of Sundari, and the city had fallen into chaos. Amidst all of this, Darth Sidious, who had become aware of Darth Maul's activity on Mandalore, arrived personally to confront and capture his former apprentice, while also killing Savage Opress. Little has yet been revealed about what happened to Mandalore after this, but it has been suggested by Pablo Hidalgo that Mandalore was perhaps occupied by the Republic until the end of the war, after which Mandalore became a part of the Galactic Empire, and military training campuses for students were established on the planet. That's all for now, but be sure to stay tuned for the next fact-packed episode of Know Your Planets! Let us know what planets you'd like to see in the future, and as always, may the force of others be with you.